Let's explore the collaboration between Jade Dynasty, New Fantasy, and Digimon. The first aspect to highlight is the evolution lines of popular Digimon such as Aegisdramon. Additionally, impressive evolution cutscenes have been added to the game. These animations closely resemble the evolution sequences from the original anime, with a notable detail being the inclusion of a Digivice behind the characters in some animations. It seems that Chinese developers are currently producing the most stunning Digimon-related content in the realm of mobile games, especially considering they have an official license, while Japanese developers appear either too lazy or uninterested in creating their own original mobile games. Furthermore, the developers have successfully recreated the iconic train scene, demonstrating their ability to seamlessly incorporate Digimon into various game worlds. It's worth noting that they consulted with fans to determine their most memorable scenes from Digimon, with many citing evolution as a standout moment. As a result, the developers focused on faithfully recreating these sequences, even including the classic evolution shouts from the Digimon, albeit in Chinese this time. There's no doubt that they have meticulously replicated every frame and restored every moment of the original evolution sequences to delight die-hard fans. For example, Plotmon, or the cutest puppy in the entire universe, has a skill called Plotmon Roar. This skill temporarily boosts spell, critical strike rate, and spell attack, dealing single target spell damage. On the other hand, Tailmon's skill, Cat Punch, provides a temporary increase in spell critical strike rate and spell attack, dealing single target spell damage. Should a critical strike occur, an additional attack can be triggered up to 2 times. Aegisdromon's skill, Sacred Arrow, temporarily enhances spell critical strike rate and spell attack, inflicting spell damage on a column of units. When a critical strike is dealt to the front target, an additional attack can be triggered up to 2 times. Following each use of Sacred Arrow, if Aegisdromon's HP is lower than at the beginning of the round, there's a chance to restore both HP and mana to their initial state, with the probability of triggering connected to Aegisdromon's spiritual point. And let's not forget Aegisdramon. While its animations may not be as eye-popping as Aegisdromon's, they've definitely nailed the Hand of Fate move flawlessly. And the models are seriously impressive, gotta give credit where it's due. So I took it upon myself to give this game a spin after hearing about the collaboration, because honestly, I had no clue it even existed before that. And yeah, the game's pretty impressive on its own, even without the Digimon collab. It's not exactly my usual style, but it's got its own charm. Plus, there's an English version for those like me who aren't exactly fluent in Chinese. So getting right back on track, the post also dives into the backstory behind Aegisdromon's evolution, Patamon's struggle to reach it, and the perfect fit with Aegisdramon. And they're even teasing us with costumes inspired by these Digimon to be added to the game, so exciting stuff for those who play it. And I gotta say, it's pretty exciting stuff even for those who don't play the game. Just seeing these new animations and models and all the buzz surrounding this event, it's enough to get us fans all fired up. As long as Digimon isn't forgotten, although I'd prefer a standalone mobile game, preferably not in Chinese. But yeah, we'll take what we can get, right? In the Patamon edition, they shared the following. When I was young, I didn't understand why Tai's Agumon evolved first. Only when I grew up did I realize that everything starts with courage. When I was young, I didn't understand why Takeru's Patamon evolved last and always had to be in dire straits to evolve. As I grew up, I understood that when knowledge falls behind the times, friendships and love disappear, and innocence and honesty are crushed by reality. Please, please, don't give up hope. When Tokamon evolves into Patamon, not only does it become even cuter, but it also receives comprehensive enhancements, especially a significant increase in combat power. Let's explore their in-game features. Their skills include granting a shield to the spiritual beast, increasing its magical attack, boosting critical hit rate, and reducing damage received. In PvE battles, these effects are doubled. After death, they enter the spiritual domain and summon the spiritual beast with the highest magical attack to the field, restoring its health. Aegisdramon, the new addition to the Chinese game Digimon New Century, evolves by fusing Metal Seedramon and Plesionomon. Let's explore its in-game abilities. Aegisdramon's usual skill grants itself several layers of Tide Rise, then attacks a single enemy, causing damage. The ultimate technique, Power of Water, allows Aegisdramon to grant itself several layers of Tide Rise, attack a single enemy, and random additional enemy targets, causing damage. This skill increases the final damage dealt to targets with buff statuses. When overclocked, Power of Water has a strengthening effect, granting Aegisdramon plus 4 Tide Rise layers, which is dispelled after casting. Tide Rise, a unique mark of water element Digimon, gains various bonus effects based on the number of layers, stacking up to 10 layers. Aegisdramon's signature move, Flash Enel's Destruction Cannon, triggers when its Tide Rise reaches a certain number of layers. This skill removes all of Aegisdramon's abnormal statuses, then attacks all enemies, causing damage to each target. After casting Flash Destruction Cannon, all of Aegisdramon's Tide Rise layers are cleared. Aegisdramon's passive skill, Breath of Power, increases its own damage for each layer of Tide Rise, and for every water element character in the team, it increases its own defense and damage reduction. As a result, Aegisdramon's attacks gain a certain percentage increase based on its own defense. Now, let's dive into the second part of the Diablomon X review. Starting with team recommendations, we'll first look at the PvE setup. This setup could include Diablomon X, Digimon, Beelzemon X, Sakuyamon X, and Ordinemon. Digimon's aura greatly reduces the strength of monsters in dungeons. Beelzemon X serves as a powerful single-target damage dealer and can prevent revival, which is useful against challenging stages with resurrection mechanics. Ordinemon, although slow to start, boasts top-tier damage output after stacking its passive ability, particularly effective in environments with many dark element allies. Sakuyamon X acts as a versatile support unit, providing buffs, resurrection, and immunity to death, making it an excellent choice for dungeon clears. Moving on to the PvP setup, a team consisting of Diablomon X, Barbamon X, Apocalypse Megidramon X, and Sakuyamon X is recommended. The combination of Barbamon X and Apocalypse offers strong off-turn attacks, but is susceptible to single-target control effects. Diablomon X's entrance stealth ability helps protect against such skills. The resurrection effect of Megidramon X, combined with Diablomon X's linked resurrection, enhances the team's staying power. Sakuyamon X's immunity to death and resurrection further improves the team's survivability. For general talent points and plugin recommendations, focus on ensuring a reliable hit rate and stacking Evil Eyes on tough enemy targets to inflict degradation, effectively sealing their passive effects. Maintain high speed and reliable hit rate, utilize control effects to restrict enemy core targets, and leverage core plugins to enhance survivability. So, in conclusion, this Digimon's normal skill attacks a single target, dealing damage, applying a dark erosion mark, and reducing the target's attack power. Its ultimate skill has a chance to reverse random beneficial statuses on all enemies into random debuffs, prioritizing complete immunity states, then attacks all enemies, inflicts dark erosion marks, and grants itself evil eyes. There's also a chance to inflict immobilization and petrification on the main target and reduce the critical hit chance and damage of other targets. Its signature skill grants evil eyes each time an enemy acts, reducing the attack power and resistance of all enemy targets. Upon defeat, it doesn't lose Evil Eyes. When Evil Eyes reach a certain stack, it opens the 13th eye, nullifying the unselectable effect on all targets and unlocking the active skill, designating a single target, immobilizing it, degrading it to a Digi-Egg, which can't act or trigger its own skills, lasting until the end of the battle. If the target is a leader, the effect is ineffective, and in dungeon battles, it lasts for a certain number of turns, The Digi-Egg inherits the original target's state. When defeated in that state, all enemy targets are afflicted with fear. Its passive skill grants several layers of evil eyes at the start. Upon entering the battlefield, it grants all allies except itself a stealth status until the end of the battle. Its single-time direct damage received won't exceed a certain percentage of its maximum HP. When any non-self target is defeated, if it's in a defeated state, it revives and gains recovery equal to a certain percentage of its maximum HP. If it's alive, it only gains recovery. It also boosts the entire team's damage reduction while on the field. When an enemy target removes control effects, it inflicts fear. Additionally, this Digimon is not affected by paralysis.